second place, Lando Norris, and taking a record 4th consecutive win here at Suzuka, and his first of the current campaign, our winner, Max Verstappen. Huge congratulations, Max. Your race engineer called it perfection over the radio. Is that how it felt inside the car?
Yeah, it was a fun race. I mean, the whole race, I saw 2 orange cars in my mirror. And yeah, especially those last 20 laps, we were pushing quite hard out there, and you could just feel, the tires were degrading more and more, but, you had to keep on, fighting it. Basically being on the limit. But yeah, it was better than expected, to be honest, my race pace. I do think that probably the cooler track temp helped us out a bit, less tire overheating. And yeah, just very proud with this result. I think most of it, of course, was done yesterday, being able to start from pole, because around here, I think it's just very hard to follow. The cars are improving every single year, more downforce, and probably also just a bit harder to follow. You only have one DRS zone as well here, so it's very tough. Plus, the degradation seemed quite low, so you do a one-stop. So I think that definitely helped, but still, we take it. We really maximize the weekend, and I'm very proud of everyone.
You maximized the weekend. At what point in the race did you think, I've got this?
It's impossible to tell because you don't really know how long the tires are going to hold up, but I would say with five laps to go, I felt like this is okay. The tires are holding on to a normal extent. They're not fully falling out of the window. So I was like, well, from here on, let's just make no mistakes, and it should be okay.
Now, the closest Lando got was at pit exit. Can you give us your view of what happened there?
Yeah, I think the grass was it was not really well cut on the right-hand side. So I think, Lando saw that as well. And he made sure that it was nicely cut.
Any more comments?
What do you want me to say?
Well, nothing.
Okay.
If that's it,
next question then.
Okay. Look, Max, where do we go from here? Is this performance circuit specific, or do you feel you can now challenge at every race?
I don't think so. But honestly, like I said, today we take it. It was very hard to pass around here. Bahrain, completely different track. Very tough on tires overheating as well. We still have work to do, but it does show that if we really nail everything, we can be up there. But from our side, we want to be better than just sometimes being up there. So we just keep working hard and just see where we can be at in Bahrain already. Hopefully we keep on improving the car with the true corner balance, and then hopefully it unlocks also just in general a bit more pace.
Very well done to you, Max. Thank you very much. Lando, let's come to you. Many congratulations. You showed great pace today. Just how do you rate this P2?
Tough. I mean, I can see Max quite clearly for the whole race, but just couldn't make any inroads from that point onwards. I think, him in clean air was enough to stay in that position, and he didn't make any mistakes. He drove a good race. So, I don't know. Like you said, the race was won yesterday in hindsight. And I guess we always kind of know the better position you start, the more chance you have of winning. But I think our pace was probably slightly better, but not enough to get through the dirty air, kind of get into the DRS. And then passing is a whole nother story because it's pretty much impossible to pass here. So, yeah, I mean, I think it was a good race. We tried some things. Maybe we could have tried a bit more with strategy and overcut or undercut. We just boxed on the same lap for some reason. So some things we'll discuss. But good points for us as a team. Decent points for me, of course. Would have liked a little bit more, but have to take second sometimes.
Can I ask you a little bit more about strategy? I mean, Oscar was the one who pitted first. Was there a discussion over the radio that maybe you pitted first?
I mean, we obviously planned some things beforehand, and we kind of know what to expect. But yeah, hindsight's a wonderful thing. I think probably couldn't have gone longer. Could I have tried going earlier? Yes, but then you're at risk of safety cars and other things. So it's easy to say, yeah, you should have done that, you should have done that. But if I box 3 laps earlier or 2 laps earlier and a safety car comes out, then we look stupid. So can't win them all, and we take it on the chin. I think we got areas to work on. High speed, we were very, very strong, and I think definitely the strongest car out there. Slow speed, we're quite a chunk off of the Red Bull, and it's where we lost yesterday in qualifying. It's where we lost again consistently in the race today. So, yeah, a lot of areas we have to try work on.
And Lando, can we get your perspective on the pit exit with Max?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, the guys just did a very good pit stop. You know, under pressure, it was our one opportunity to try and get a bit closer. I wasn't even trying to race Max. I was just trying to cut the grass, like he said. So, didn't even know he was there, actually. So, no, nothing. He had the position and he had the right to do what he did. So, fair play.
Can we throw it forward now? Bahrain Grand Prix next weekend. How strong do you think your car is going to be there? And are you expecting Max to be a similar threat in Bahrain as he was here?
I mean, it's always so difficult to say. Probably yes. I think after today, our weakness was the slow speed comparing to them. There's a lot less high speed, so we're kind of losing some of our strengths and we're going more into our weaknesses. Clearly, they're quick, you know. I feel like we got, you know, between Oscar and myself, I think we got a lot of the car. Yesterday, was there probably a little bit more? Yes, but, you know, both our theoreticals were not that far ahead. So Max is doing a good job, and Red Bull seem to maybe have caught up a little bit. But they've also not been that bad the whole season. When you look at Australia, he was fighting for a win. When you look at China, wasn't miles away. And this weekend, he's done very good. So I expect him to be challenging us in every weekend.
All right, Lando, thank you very much for that. Oscar, let's come to you. Great birthday present for you today. A very competitive P3 for you. Just how do you reflect on this Grand Prix?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously the result is not exactly what I wanted, but I think in terms of the pace and the way I achieved the result is what I wanted. So yeah, I think, you know, yesterday was the day that kind of dictated your weekend a lot, and I didn't get the most out of the car. So, you know, that unfortunately kind of dictated a lot of what I could do today, and that's you know, led to the result I've got.
Has this whole weekend just emphasized how important qualifying is this year? Is it even more important than it was last year?
I don't know if it's necessarily more important. I think it's always been important. You know, I think in a race like we had today, where there's very little deg, it's a pretty easy one stop, and you're pushing flat out for a lot of it, then yeah, it becomes very difficult to have an advantage with tyres. And you know, I think in Suzuka in the past, that is how you've generally tried to overtake people. This weekend, that wasn't the case. So I think, you know, it depends on the track. You know, Bahrain, for example, might not quite be the same. But I mean, qualifying's always been important. It, you know, it's not rocket science to work out that if you start on pole, it makes your life a lot easier. So, yeah, I think that's the main opportunity from this weekend.
And Oscar, can we just get your thoughts on your strategy today, both in terms of when you pitted, but also was there a realistic chance of you swapping with Lando and having a crack at Max?
I mean, I think on the pit stop timing, Russell had pitted, I think, the lap before. And, you know, Leclerc wasn't that far behind, and we didn't really know what the undercut power was going to be like. And, you know, we'd kind of gone a fair way into the race on the mediums anyway. So, I think from my side, there wasn't anything that obviously wrong with what we did. And then, I mean, at the end, yeah, I said what I felt. You know, clearly the team were happy with the way things were. And, I mean, if I was in Lando's position, I would also be pretty happy with the way things were. So, you know, that's fine. Just said what I felt in the car. And, yeah, that's how we want to go racing.
All right. Thank you, Oscar. Right. Let's open this to the floor. First one, please.
Nate Saunders, ESPN. Max, congratulations on the win. Fernando yesterday called your lap magical. I think Tom mentioned, GP said perfection about the race. Christian said your drive was inspirational. There's been so many superlatives about just the way you're performing with this car at the moment. Does it feel as special to you, what you're doing at the moment, as it does kind of outside of Red Bull in the paddock at the moment?
Yeah, it does. I mean, it also means, I guess, that I really care, even though, of course, it's not been the easiest start to the year for us. You know, we are not where we want to be in terms of performance. I think that's no secret. But yeah, this weekend, yeah, it's been really, just really, really nice. Sometimes you have those kind of moments, you know, where then you get some really great laps out of it. Luckily, of course, also the balance got a bit more together throughout that qualifying. So, yeah, we just have to keep on working. I mean, it's nice, but I'm a bit of a person, I don't listen to the positives and the negatives. I'm just in the middle, you know, so I just focus on my own performances and, yeah, just keep working, keep grinding.
Thank you, Max. Next one.
Michael Butterworth, Xinhua News Agency. Lando, given the way things transpired in the race, was it the right call to pit the same lap as Max rather than trying something different, maybe going longer, trying to overcut him or something like that?
I don't know. I probably should have just tried to undercut, I think. Thing is, there's always the safety car risk and so forth. I don't think I could have gone longer because I don't think I would have lost position. So that wasn't on the cards. But yeah, I think we probably should have just tried to undercut and tried something different. But it just wasn't today. So yeah, things we'll talk about. Honestly, I think the undercut is not easy here because the hards are not mega in the first sector. So whether that even would have worked, I'm unsure. And Max still always had a little buffer to me. So even if I did have a good outlap, I don't think it was enough to probably have passed anyway.
Thank you, Lando. Next one.
Luke Smith from The Athletic. Lando, question for you. You've spoken very highly of Max throughout your career. Does a weekend like this really prove why he's going to be such a championship threat, even if he doesn't have the quickest car compared to you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know, I get a lot of questions like, are you surprised, Max, when he does a day like yesterday or a race like today? And I guess people always expect me to say yes, but I don't think there is a reason to be. I don't think I ever have. Like you said, I've always had a lot of respect for Max. But you know, it's there's moments that when you're in the car and when you're driving, you know what is good and what is not. And I think I don't need anyone to tell me what Max is capable of doing or whether I should think this or that. Of course, I've always got my own opinions, but I'm always going to have the respect. I know how good he's been since, you know, we shook hands back in 2015 or something, 14, and I was half the height I am now. So, you know, I don't need people to tell me these things, and people seem shocked when I say I'm not surprised and stuff like that. But I know how good he is. I know what he's capable of doing. So I would say nothing is a surprise anymore. But yeah, I still believe that we're going to have some good races and we can go toe to toe, and that some days he'll come out on top and others I will.
Thank you, Lando. Next, please.
Nate Saunders from ESPN. Just a question to all three of you. You've all got a pole position each, a win each. Does it feel at this stage like it's a three-way title fight? Is it too early to say? What's the kind of the vibe for you guys at the moment?
The vibe is all right. I don't know. I mean, there's still, I mean, it's a very long season. A lot of things can happen, right? I think what is important is that you always try to just maximize your performances. That's the only thing that you can control. So that's what I'll try to do, and we'll see in, was it 21 races where we're at? Yeah, good or bad?
Yeah, seems like it. I mean, I still think at times we're going to see some more competition from the guys behind. Charles was not that much slow. I mean, there was a bigger gap, but I think his second stint on the hards was just as quick as us. I didn't think we dropped him at all. So, you know, other cars are quick. I think, you know, we pushed a lot in the beginning, and it was a race where you just flat out from the off. It was a quick race, but I think we're the three who are the most consistent at the minute and putting in the times in quali and putting the good races in. But George has been quick this weekend. I don't know, maybe, again, you know, they struggled a bit more in Q3 for whatever reason, and then therefore in the race. But I'm sure, like, if you put George starting on pole today, I think he probably still would have won the race, you know. So I think anytime someone does that bit of a better job, and on Saturday for qualifying, they can have those opportunities come their way. But at the minute, I think McLaren, Red Bull, and probably between us three, we're doing a better job than the rest.
I mean, I think yesterday, it was, I was disappointed to be third. I think, I think our car is in a very strong place at the moment. It's still, got some things that we want to try and improve. But, I think I obviously know that Lando is going to be strong opposition, given we're in the same car. And I know Max is going to be strong opposition, given that, everything he's achieved in his career. So I think, as Lando said, I think it doesn't take much of a mistake from us, or certainly from myself, to let the others in. And I think that's what we saw yesterday. And as Lando said, I think Mercedes looked very threatening at times this weekend. And I think Ferrari, I think people forget that Charles's race in China, he did with essentially half a front wing. So I think if anyone else had tried to do the race he did in China, they would have finished. They would have had the box pretty quickly. So I think we have a small advantage, but I think this weekend has really shown that any small mistake and people, there's a lot of competition there to capitalize.
Thank you to all three. Yep, another one.
Luke Smith from The Athletic. Max, Christine's talked about the changes that have been made throughout the weekend on the car. Do you feel a step closer to getting the best out of it? Like, how much progress has been made through this weekend to get you a bit more comfortable and happy with it?
I think we know our limitations, so we just have to try and run against that limitation as much as we can. But it's still not fixed. So this is hopefully going to be fixed soon, but I cannot give you a timeline on that. It's just about trying to find that limit, which is really sensitive for us at the moment.
Thanks, Max. Another one, yes.
From Titan Sports, question to Oscar. At the end of the race, how big is your chance to actually overtake or try to overtake Lando? Or is it just too difficult under that condition?
I mean, it was too difficult. I think I needed the straight to be about another 100 meters longer, and then maybe I could have had a small chance. But I got close a couple of times, but never close enough to do anything realistically. So I feel like I had strong pace, but just not quite enough to be able to do anything. And with the dirty air, it's once you get so close, it's very difficult to stay so close. I think the chance of anything happening realistically was pretty slim.
Thank you. Next.
Yeah, Joel with the Japan Times. This one's for Max. Obviously the last Japanese Grand Prix with Honda Power. Maybe you could reflect on that relationship and what it means to go out with a win here in Japan.
Yeah, I mean, of course, already yesterday was, of course, a very beautiful day for us. And then, of course, to follow it up with a win is just fantastic. Honestly, the relationship that we have had with Honda has been amazing. I've really enjoyed my time with them, how they also work, how professional they are, and how dedicated they are. And, they've given me so much. And, together to win 4 Drivers' Championships and 2 Constructors, it's been unbelievable. And those, of course, are things that you will never forget. And it did cross my mind while driving as well. I said it would be, insane to win here today. Also for Honda on their track as well. So maybe gave that extra motivation to try and stay ahead. But it's a proper send-off. I mean, we couldn't have wished for a better weekend, to be honest.